The crash in the forest. It was a cold and quiet night in the small village of Glenbrook. The wind moved slowly through the tall pine trees, and the only sound was the occasional hoot of an owl. In a small wooden house at the edge of the forest, a girl named Emma sat by her window, looking up at the stars. She was 18, with messy brown hair, curious eyes, and a mind full of dreams. Emma loved the night sky. She had always felt like the stars were calling to her. While others in the village were asleep, she stayed awake, wondering what was out there, far beyond the stars. Suddenly, a bright flash cut across the sky. It was fast, like a falling star, but much bigger and closer. Emma stood up. Her eyes followed the light as it streaked toward the forest behind her house. A loud boom shook the ground. The lights in her room flickered. Birds flew out of the trees, screaming into the night. She ran to her door. Her heart beat faster. "That wasn't just a meteor," she whispered. Without thinking, she grabbed her flashlight and jacket and stepped outside. The air smelled like smoke and burning metal. She looked toward the forest. A faint orange glow lit up the trees in the distance. Against her better judgment, Emma walked toward it. The forest was quiet now, too quiet. Not even the wind made a sound. She moved carefully, her boots crunching on dry leaves. The glow got brighter with every step. After 10 minutes of walking, she reached a small clearing. Trees had been ripped apart, branches scattered everywhere. In the middle of the clearing, half buried in the ground, was a strange, silver object. It looked like a pod, about the size of a small car. Smooth metal, with strange markings glowing faintly blue. Steam rose from its sides. One part was cracked open, like it had been damaged during a crash. Emma's mouth opened slightly. She stepped closer, her flashlight trembling in her hand. "What is this?" she whispered. A soft sound came from inside the pod. It was like a low hum, almost alive. She leaned in to look, and that's when she saw it. Inside the pod, lying carefully on a bed of soft, dark material, was a suit. Not just any suit. It looked like armor, but not human-made. Smooth silver plates, glowing lines along the chest and arms, and a helmet shaped like nothing she had ever seen. Emma reached out slowly. Her fingers hovered over the suit. Suddenly, a deep robotic voice echoed from inside the pod. "Biosignature detected. Compatible. Initializing connection." Emma jumped back. The suit began to glow brighter. The chest opened with a hiss of air, and something, thin wires or tendrils, reached out from it toward her. Panic rushed through her, but before she could move, the tendrils touched her skin. "Connection stable. Welcome, relic bearer." The world spun. Emma felt warmth rush through her body. Visions flashed in her mind. Strange planets, fire raining from the sky, giant machines fighting each other, alien voices shouting in a language she didn't understand. Then darkness. She woke up lying on the ground. The suit was no longer in the pod. It was on her. The armor had wrapped itself around her body like a second skin. It felt weightless but strong. Her hands were now silver, her reflection shining in the broken glass of the pod. "What just happened?" she breathed. Then, a sound behind her. A branch snapped. Emma turned quickly. Her visor, now active, highlighted movement in the trees. Something was there. Something watching her. The suit's voice spoke again, calm and cold. "Hostile life form detected. Preparing for defense." Emma's eyes widened. Wait, what life form? But the forest stayed still. She looked around, her breath showing in the cold air. The glow from the crash site lit the trees in an eerie blue. Whatever was out there had moved away, or it was still watching. Emma turned back to the pod. The inside was now dark. A small blinking light showed one message. "This is only the beginning." With her heart pounding, Emma realized her life would never be the same again. She wasn't just a village girl anymore. She was something else. Something more. The suit wakes up. The night had never been so quiet. Emma stood in the middle of the destroyed clearing, the wind brushing through the broken trees, her breath rising in clouds. The suit had bonded to her, wrapping around her like it had been waiting for her, like it knew her. But how? She looked down at her hands, no longer human. Silver, smooth, glowing faintly with blue lines. The armor pulsed with life, responding to her thoughts. It wasn't just a suit. It felt like it was alive, listening. Emma took a step forward and stumbled. She wasn't used to this weight, this power. The suit adjusted itself instantly. Her balance returned. It was learning her, adapting to her movements. Then the voice returned, low, calm, alien. Relic bearer initiated, scanning consciousness, uploading data, complete. Her head ached. More images flashed before her eyes. Giant alien machines walking across burning cities, a sky filled with warships, planets torn apart by beams of light. A woman in armor, similar to Emma's, fighting alone in a storm of fire and screams. It was too much. Stop, Emma cried out, holding her head. What are you showing me? The suit responded. Memories of the last bearer. Her mission is now yours. Emma dropped to her knees. I'm not her. I'm not a warrior. The voice paused for a second, then spoke again. You don't have to be. The suit will guide. You will learn. Suddenly, the light in the trees changed. A red glow blinked in the distance. Something was moving. Not walking, gliding, and fast. Emma stood up quickly. The suit reacted, and her vision shifted. Her eyes now had a digital overlay, like looking through the scope of a weapon. Numbers, symbols, warnings. Hostile presence detected. Cloaked entity. Distance, 75 meters. Approaching. Emma backed away. What do I do? Prepare for combat. Do not hesitate. A loud shriek echoed through the forest, sharp and alien. Something leaped out from the trees, tall, thin, covered in black armor. Not human, red eyes glowing. It landed hard, cracking the earth, standing face to face with her. Emma froze. The creature tilted its head, analyzing her. It growled. The suit whispered, "This is a shadow wraith, enemy of the relics. Eliminate it or be eliminated." The wraith lunged. Emma raised her arms, more by instinct than training. A blue shield burst from her wrists just in time, blocking the strike. The impact sent her flying back, but the suit absorbed the shock. "I can't fight that," she shouted. "Yes, you can. Trust the suit." The creature charged again. This time, Emma ducked. The suit enhanced her reflexes. She rolled, stood, and aimed her hand. Something inside clicked. A blast of blue energy shot from her palm. It hit the wraith in the chest, throwing it into a tree with a fiery explosion. Silence. Emma stared at her hand. What was that? Defense protocol. Plasma burst. Power limited. Recharge required. The wraith growled again and stood. Injured, but not dead. Emma's heart raced. Her hands trembled. This thing won't stop, will it? No. It was sent to find the suit, to find you. Suddenly, Emma remembered the message in the pod. This is only the beginning. Another scream rang out. Not from the wraith. From the sky. Emma looked up and saw a dark triangular shape floating far above the clouds. Silent. Massive. Asterisk, what is that? She whispered. Scout ship. Origin. Xarn species. They are searching for the last relic. They will not stop. Asterisk. The wraith charged one last time, faster than before. But Emma was ready. This time, she ran toward it. As they collided, the suit activated a hidden blade on her forearm. Blue, sharp, humming with energy. She struck. The blade pierced through the wraith's chest. The creature shrieked, then fell silent. Emma stood there, her chest rising and falling. Her blade disappeared back into the suit. It was over. For now, she heard something beep inside her helmet. A new map lit up her vision. Underground locations, alien symbols blinking. "What is this?" she asked. "Relic signals. There are more like this suit. Hidden. Waiting. You must find them before the enemy does." Emma stared at the glowing map. This wasn't just about her anymore. It was a war, and she was in the center of it. Hunted by the unknown. Emma couldn't sleep. She sat on the edge of her bed, still wearing part of the suit, though it had reshaped itself to look like simple black clothes. To anyone else, it would look like normal fabric, but inside, it pulsed with alien tech. Her hands trembled, not from fear, at least not the kind she could explain. She had killed something. Not a person, not even an animal, something else. And now she knew the truth. The suit was a weapon, and so was she. On her table, the old map the suit had projected lay sketched out in her notebook. 5 glowing dots, 5 relic signals, 5 more alien war suits like hers, hidden across the planet. And if she didn't find them first, they would. Emma stood and looked out the window. The forest looked peaceful again, but she knew it wasn't. 3 days later, deep in the forest, Emma had followed the suit's directions to a cave system 2 hours outside the village. No one came near. It was marked dangerous on every old map. Unstable rocks, wild animals, deep tunnels. But that's what made it perfect for hiding something not of this world. She stepped carefully, flashlight in one hand, suit visor active over her eyes. The cave air was cold and damp, every step echoing off wet stone. Approaching signal source. 50 meters below. The suit whispered. "How do I get down?" she asked. Locating descent path. Warning. Hostile presence detected nearby. Emma froze. Same kind as before. Unknown. Life form. Larger. A rumble passed through the rocks. Dust fell from the ceiling. Emma moved quickly, deeper into the tunnel. Her heart pounded, her breathing steady but sharp. The suit tightened slightly, protecting her vital points. Then she heard it. Not a scream this time, but a clicking, like bones snapping, followed by a long, wet breathing sound. "I really hate this part," she whispered, pulling her helmet on fully. Suddenly, the cave widened into a hollow chamber. At the center, half buried in stone, was another pod, just like hers, older, cracked. But the relic suit inside still pulsed with light. Emma stepped forward. Signal confirmed. Relic type, Omega class, compatible with chosen bearer. Is it alive? No, dormant. As she reached out, a shadow moved behind her. Fast. She spun, raising her arm just in time to block a strike from something huge. 7 feet tall, built like a nightmare. Dark blue skin, spikes across its arms, mouth filled with razor-like teeth. Not like the last one. This was different. More evolved. Sarn Hunter class, the suit said, alert. Do not allow it to touch the relic. The creature growled, then spoke in a strange, broken language. The suit translated instantly. You are not worthy, human. Give us the armor. Emma took a breath. No thanks. The battle started. The hunter lunged faster than its size should allow. Emma rolled to the side, firing a burst of energy from her palm. It hit the hunter in the shoulder, but barely slowed it down. The creature grabbed a rock and hurled it at her. Massive, heavy. Emma jumped, the suit boosting her movement, flipping her over the impact. She landed hard, sliding across the floor. Any bright ideas? She asked the suit. You must awaken the second relic. Use your energy. Connect. Emma ran toward the pod. The hunter roared and chased her. She reached the relic just as it raised one faint blue light toward her. Their hands touched. Boom. A wave of blue energy exploded outward. The hunter was thrown across the cave, crashing into the wall. Emma felt her suit surge with power, connected now to this second relic. She wasn't wearing it, but it was part of her now, Her suit began to shift again, new plates forming, more glowing lines, faster response. Relic connection successful. Temporary upgrade enabled. The hunter stood, shaking off the hit. It was furious now. Emma didn't wait. This time, she attacked. She moved like lightning, dodging every strike, countering with fast, focused blows. Her blade reappeared, sharper, stronger. She aimed straight for the creature's chest, but the hunter caught her arm. She gasped. Its claws dug into her armor, cracking part of it. The suit screamed with warning alarms. Armor breach. Critical damage. Fallback advised. Emma's eyes locked on the relic. Energy still flowed from it, only for a few seconds more. She pulled every bit of energy she could, charged her hand, and slammed it into the hunter's chest. "Goodbye," she whispered. The energy exploded. The hunter was blasted into pieces. Smoke filled the chamber. Emma dropped to her knees, breathing hard. The suit's systems flickered, but she was alive. She looked at the second relic. "You saved me," she said. A small light blinked on the pod. "Connection remains open. Find the others." Emma stood, injured but stronger than ever. This was no longer about survival. Someone was collecting these relics for power, for war, and she had just joined the fight, like it or not. "Who's behind this?" she asked the suit. The answer came cold and quiet. "The one who ended the last war. He has returned." Emma narrowed her eyes. "Then we end him before he starts another." Secrets of the alien war. The night was colder than usual. Emma stood on the edge of a cliff overlooking the valley below. Clouds moved slowly under a half-moon sky, and stars blinked above her like silent witnesses. Her suit, now darker and sleeker after absorbing the second relic's power, adjusted to the temperature without a word. But Emma didn't feel the cold. Not anymore. She had killed again. This time, not just in self-defense, but with full knowledge of what she was doing. And something inside her had changed. 2 days earlier, underground resistance bunker. The suit led Emma to a hidden structure buried deep beneath the surface of a mountain range. It looked abandoned from the outside, just rusted metal, half covered by snow and time. But once inside, the lights came to life. And so did the ghosts. Holograms flickered on the walls. Images of alien warriors, battles in orbit, strange languages and mission reports looping endlessly. The suit guided her through halls lined with forgotten tech and data cores. At the center of the base was a tall silver device, like a column, humming gently. The suit called it the Echo. "This device holds the recorded memories of the relic bearers. Place your hand to unlock." Emma hesitated. "Memories? You must know what came before. Only then can you stop what's coming." She placed her hand on the panel. The room went dark, then filled with light. 1,000 years ago, memory vision. Emma was no longer in the base. She stood on a ruined planet, sky burning red. Alien ships crashed around her, black smoke covering the land. In front of her stood a tall female figure in glowing armor, similar to Emma's, but older, battle-worn, scared. The warrior turned. Her face was alien, but her eyes, filled with sorrow, met Emma's. "We gave everything to stop him," the voice echoed. "But he always returns, stronger, hungrier." "Who?" Emma asked, though the figure couldn't hear her. "The collector of relics. He does not want peace. He wants control. He was once one of us. Now he is a shadow who wears gods as armor." Emma saw flashes, the collector standing over mountains of dead, his body made of dark energy, wrapped in stolen relics. His voice was never heard, only his destruction. When the last relic fell to earth, the warrior said, "We hid it," hoping someone, anyone, would find it before him. The warrior fell to her knees. A hand reached from the shadows behind her and ended her memory. Emma gasped. Back in the bunker, she stumbled back, the vision fading. "He was one of you?" she asked the suit. "Yes, His name was Siler, once a guardian, now a destroyer. He steals relics to feed his living armor. He has already found 3. He will come for the rest. Emma looked around. What happened to the others? The guardians. All gone. Except you. Her breath caught. So this is it. A village girl and a war suit against a god. Not a god. Just a broken thing that forgot it was ever human. Emma clenched her fists. Her suit glowed faintly. Then we remind him. That night, returning to Glenbrook, she reached the edge of her village at dawn. Everything seemed normal. Kids going to school, people heading to farms, smoke rising from chimneys. Peaceful. But her visor highlighted something strange. Residue. Glowing, faint, not human. Someone had been here. Emma followed the trail to the abandoned train station near the village's edge. It hadn't worked in years. Now, its walls were covered in strange carvings, alien symbols. A warning. Someone left this message, the suit translated. He is coming through the sky. Emma turned. The air shifted. A faint hum vibrated through the clouds. She looked up. A small ship broke through the clouds, black, silent, scanning the ground. How did they find me? They're not here for you. The ship moved past the village and hovered over the forest. A beam of light shot down, pulling something up. Emma zoomed in with her visor. It was a man, a hunter, but not Sarn. Human. Later, at her hidden base, Emma placed the hunter's file on the table. The suit had captured some data from the ship's signal. He's working with them. He was. Now, he's bait. The man had been enhanced with alien tech, eyes replaced, voice gone, spine reinforced. He had been turned into a living tracker. They're using humans now, Emma whispered. The collector. He's not just coming for the suits. He's testing Earth. The suit beeped. A new signal. Weak. Moving. Third relic detected. Mobile. Not buried. Bearer unknown. Someone else has one, Emma asked. Yes, and they are not alone. Emma stood, put on her full armor. Visor lowered. Then we find them before he does. First strike. The storm came without warning. Thick black clouds rolled across the sky, moving unnaturally fast. Lightning crackled in strange patterns, bending like claws. The wind roared through the trees, and the air felt charged, alive, heavy, electric. Emma stood on top of an old transmission tower outside the city of Newridge. Her eyes scanned the horizon through her suit's visor, now upgraded with deeper sensors. Third relic signal has stopped moving. The suit reported. Possible containment. They got to it, Emma said. Her voice was calm, but her jaw clenched tight. We're too late. Maybe not. Scanning for life forms. Emma watched the empty field below. Not a single car, not a single bird. Too quiet. Then, movement. A ripple in the air, like heat over asphalt. Something was there. 5 hours earlier, outside Newridge. Emma had tracked the third relic signal for 2 days. Unlike the others, this one moved, like it was running. Not buried, not hidden. Alive. Whoever had it wasn't just hiding. They were being hunted. She followed the trail into Newridge, a mid-sized city now half evacuated after several weather anomalies, storms, power surges, people vanishing. The news called it freak lightning. Emma knew better. Present, on the tower. Her visor beeped rapidly. Stealth field detected. Cloaking drone. Scanning. Hostile confirmed. The air shimmered again, and then the illusion dropped. A tall alien figure stood in the center of the field, armored head to toe in black and red plating. Its body pulsed with stolen tech. Fragments of relics melted into its armor. Not a scout, not a hunter. This was something else. Emma's suit spoke one word. Executor. Her breath caught. They sent an executor this early. First strike. Eliminate witnesses. Retrieve third relic. Burn the city if needed. The executor raised its hand. Above, the clouds split open. From the sky, a beam of red light crashed into a nearby building. Concrete exploded. Flames rushed upward. Screams echoed from the city below. They had started the attack. Emma jumped. From the top of the tower, her suit activated boosters. Blue trails lit the air as she landed hard between the executor and the city behind her. "You want the relic," she said, raising her voice. "You'll have to go through me." The executor turned, spoke in a distorted voice. "You are not the objective. Leave." "Not happening." Emma struck first. She activated her blade and lunged. Her movements were faster now, sharper, stronger. Her blade clashed against the executor's armored arm. Sparks flew. But he didn't even move. With one swing, he knocked her back 20 feet. Emma slammed into the ground, rolled, and landed in a crouch. "Okay, you're stronger, but I'm faster." She launched a plasma burst. Direct hit to the chest. The executor staggered. Armor cracked slightly. For the first time, it looked at her differently. Threat level upgraded. He charged. Emma dodged, flipped, fired again. The suit responded like it knew the fight already. But still, it wasn't enough. He was learning her patterns, adapting. "We can't win like this," Emma said. "We don't need to," the suit replied. "We need the relic." Emma scanned the area again. The signal was nearby. Underground. Meanwhile, underground shelter, Sector 7. A young boy, around 16, hid inside a metal bunker. His name was Jake. His hands glowed faintly, blue light pulsing from under his skin. The relic had chosen him 5 days ago. He didn't know why. He didn't want it. He had watched his brother vanish, taken by creatures in the storm. The relic had found him afterward, protected him. But now, he felt it weakening. Someone was coming, or something, and it wasn't here to save him. Back on the surface, Emma triggered her suit's underground scanners. The relic signal blinked just beneath her. She had no time. "I need to get to him. Executor will follow. Delay it." She took a deep breath. "Then let's give him something to chase." Emma activated a decoy mode. Her suit projected a false signal, running toward the western hills. At the same time, she dropped into the storm drain below. Dark, tight, cold. She moved fast, armor scraping against rusted metal. A minute later, she reached the shelter door. She knocked once. No response. Then the relic inside responded, opened the door. The boy stared at her, terrified. "Are you the one they sent to kill me?" he asked. Emma removed her helmet. "No," she said softly. "I'm the one who knows what you're feeling." The boy's eyes filled with tears. Emma reached out. Their hands touched. A burst of energy filled the shelter. The relic responded. His skin glowed brighter. Emma smiled. "You're not alone anymore." Above ground, 5 minutes later, the executor discovered the decoy. Too late. He looked down, saw the energy pulse from the sewer below. He activated a beacon. In the sky above, a mothership moved into low orbit. Emma and Jake ran through the tunnels, explosions following behind. "They've changed the rules," Emma said. "They're not just hunting us." "No," the suit agreed. "They're starting the war. Sacrifice and betrayal." The sun never rose over the ruins of Haven Point. Black smoke drifted into the gray morning sky, covering what was once a quiet resistance outpost. Buildings lay torn open, metal bent, power lines snapped like bones. Everything smelled like ash, static, and old fear. Emma stood at the edge of the wreckage, her armor cracked and scorched. Beside her, the boy, Jake, held his arm, bleeding but alive. The third relic was now fully active inside him. The suit had started bonding, but his body wasn't ready for it. Emma looked up. Above them, in the clouds, Something moved. Silent. Watching. 2 hours earlier, arrival at Heaven Point, the escape from New Ridge, had nearly cost them their lives. After the battle with the Executor, Emma used a stolen stealth pod to reach Heaven Point, an old underground resistance facility built during the early alien incursions, long before people believed the war was real. The bunker doors opened slowly as they arrived, old AI systems still alive, blinking back into service. A voice greeted her. "Welcome, Commander 08. Emma frowned. "Commander, I'm not. Your suit holds relic command codes. Your identity is confirmed." Jake looked around, confused. "This place is old, but why does it feel like it's been waiting for you?" Emma didn't answer. Deep inside Heaven Point, control room. The base was filled with old tech, maps of relic signals, intercepted enemy transmissions, and a list of known rogue units. And then, a screen lit up. A face appeared. Emma's blood ran cold. That can't be. It was Colonel Vane, Emma's old mentor, presumed dead in the first wave of the Tarn attack. He had trained the first group of human relic operatives. He was the reason she even knew about the suits. "If you're seeing this," the recording said, "then I failed." Emma stepped closer. The relics were never just weapons. They were prisons. Each one is a lock on something buried far deeper, something even the Tarn feared. "What do you mean?" she whispered. Vane's eyes in the recording grew hard. "The Collector isn't just stealing relics for power. He's rebuilding the gate, the one we destroyed, the one we were never supposed to open again." Emma felt her throat tighten. "What's behind the gate?" The recording flickered, then went dark. But before it vanished, Vane said one final word. "Me. Present." The betrayal. Jake sat against a wall, eyes glowing faintly. The relic was stabilizing, but barely. He looked up at Emma. "Did you trust him?" he asked. "More than anyone," she said quietly. The suit spoke. "Motion detected. Someone is inside the East Wing. Not us." Emma tensed. Her blade activated with a whisper. She moved silently through the corridor, senses heightened. She reached the East Wing and stopped. A door was open. Inside, crates of supplies, tools, alien components, and a signal beacon. Active. Emma's visor zoomed in. The code was Skarn Tech, tracking her location. "Someone called them here," she said. She turned and saw him. Rain, the only other surviving member of her old unit. He stepped out of the shadows, holding a pulse rifle. His left arm was now fully mechanical. Sarn groaned. "Emma," he said, "you did this. You weren't supposed to make it this far." She raised her blade. "You were one of us." He sighed. "I was dying. They gave me a choice. Serve them, or disappear like the rest." Emma's hands shook. "You led them to the third relic. You let them track me. You don't understand. It's bigger than us. They told me what's buried under the earth. The relics. They were never meant for us." Emma stepped forward. "Get out of my way." Rain shook his head. "You'll have to kill me." Emma didn't hesitate. They fought. Blade against rifle. Energy bursts, fire, shadows dancing on walls. Sparks flew as old metal clanged. Emma moved faster, angrier, sharper. Rain was strong, but not fast enough. She disarmed him, pinned him to the wall. He looked at her, blood at the corner of his mouth. "You still think you're the hero?" Emma looked into his eyes. "No, I just know who the enemy is." She let him fall. Jake stood at the corridor's edge, watching everything. Minutes later, outside the base, the beacon was shut down. Too late. The sky cracked open with thunder. A new kind of ship arrived, bigger, shaped like a blade, glowing with ancient red glyphs. Emma knew this wasn't just a scout. This was a general. The Collector had sent one of his inner circle. "Emma, The suit said quietly, "You need to leave." "No, not without Jake. You don't understand. If they take him now, they will finish the gate. We don't have time." She turned to Jake. "Do you trust me?" He nodded. She opened a portal. Only once before had she used this power. It would drain her, maybe kill her, but it would get him to safety. She pushed Jake through the gate. He disappeared in a flash of blue light. The ship above the base locked onto her. Emma turned toward the rising shadow. Alone. Cracked armor. Exhausted. But standing. "You want the relic," she said, voice calm, fire in her eyes. "Come and take it." The final uprising. The sky was broken. Red lightning cracked through clouds that no longer moved with the wind. The stars had vanished. Time itself felt slower, heavier, like the planet was holding its breath. At the center of it all stood Emma, alone. Her armor was damaged, scorched, barely holding together. Sparks flickered from her right shoulder, and the suit's voice, always calm, was silent now, its systems pushed beyond safe limits. Before her, rising like a god made of shadow and forgotten wars, was the Collector. He didn't walk. He floated, wrapped in armor made from the bodies of fallen relics. Dozens of them, fused together. Pieces of alien champions twisted into a living weapon. He had no face, just a mask, featureless, pulsing with a dull, ancient red light. Behind him, the gate had begun to open. Not a doorway. A wound. Something far worse was trying to break through. Emma took a step forward, every part of her body screaming. "You came all this way," the Collector said, his voice echoing in her mind, not through ears, but memory. "And still you do not understand what you are." "I know enough," she said, her voice dry but steady. "You wear a relic, but you are not its master. It is yours because it needs you, because you are broken." Emma clenched her fists. "I may be broken," she said, "but I'm still standing." Hours earlier, Jake's return. When Jake opened his eyes, the world was blue. The portal had dropped him into a hidden sanctuary, one of the last relic vaults. Untouched, sleeping. Inside, he found the Omega Core, the heart of the original relic system. It called to him, not as a weapon, as a memory. "Jake," it said, "you are the first of the new line." His body lit up. The relic in him, the third suit, changed, upgraded, merged with the Omega Core. He became more than a bearer. He became a key. The key to shutting the gate forever. Present, the battlefield. Jake arrived with the storm. Blue lights split the sky. He landed beside Emma, fully armored, glowing like a sun in the night. "You're alive," Emma said, shocked. "You didn't think I'd let you fight this alone." The Collector's mask tilted slightly. "2 relics against me. I consumed 12. Emma smiled weakly. "Yeah, but we've got something you never had." "What?" She looked at Jake. "Hope." They attacked together. The battlefield exploded. Emma and Jake moved as one. Their suits synchronized. Blasts of light cut through the darkness. The Collector countered, faster than anything they'd faced. He bent gravity, rewrote physics, turned the air itself into a weapon. But they didn't stop. Emma dodged a blast, launched into the air, landed a strike on his mask. Cracks formed. Jake fired a pulse into the Collector's chest. A relic fragment flew off, screaming into dust. But still, the gate opened wider. A deep rumble echoed across the sky. Something ancient began to push through. Not a creature, not a god. A memory older than creation. Emma. Her suit whispered, its final breath. "This is not about defeating him. This is about ending everything he remembers." She understood. The relics weren't made to fight wars. They were made to contain history, living records, memories forged into armor, designed to trap dangerous knowledge inside protectors who would never fall. But the Collector had fallen, and his memories had twisted. "Jake," she said, "if we destroy the relics, everyone, he won't be able to hold himself together." He looked at her. "We'll lose everything. We'll save everything." He nodded once, and together they did the unthinkable. They fused their relic cores, turned the energy inward, and burned the memories. Every battle, every fallen bearer, every broken promise, wiped clean. The collector screamed. His armor shattered. His voice split into 1,000 fading whispers. The gate began to close. Light swallowed the field. Emma felt her body fade. Not pain, not fear. Just peace. Epilogue. 1 year later, New Ridge was rebuilding. The sky had healed. Jake stood on a hill, overlooking the city. He wore no armor now, just a pendant, made from the last piece of Emma's suit. A girl approached him. "They still talk about her like she's coming back," she said. Jake smiled. Maybe she never left. He looked up. In the stars above, for just a second, a streak of blue light danced across the sky. The end.